Good morning to you all, and good morning also to the people who are on the live stream. So I hope you will be staying with us for the next 20 to 25 minutes. What I want to do before I speak about the opportunities and the challenges that AXA face, I want to introduce myself the way the LinkedIn people are doing it. So we know that we have a profile, but maybe what you don't know is things that people don't put on the profile. So the way you introduce yourself when you are at LinkedIn is you give one or two things that are not on the profile. And maybe what I want to tell you is why I've joined an insurance company. A couple of years ago, I was in investment banking, head of operations and technology for the shared services, and I was living in New York. For personal reason, I wanted to come back to Paris, and I had to make a career, what you call a career shift, a career change. And what I said at that time to myself is I have two objectives. The first one, it's all about people. The people you work for, the people you lead, the people who are on your team, and the people you attract. So that was one big challenge and opportunity for me. The second one is the business. It would have been very simple to switch from banking to banking and to do a little bit of the same of what I was doing before. But what I wanted to do, 21 years after having spent that time with JP Morgan in Paris, London, and New York, I wanted to learn. I wanted to start from scratch and maybe use a little bit of my experience, but more than anything else, I wanted to learn another business. And I will always remember when I decided to resign and that people come and say, oh my God, what are you going to do? And I said, I'm joining AXA. AXA? A-X-A? What is that? Insurance. Oh my God. So I can see from my investor bankers colleagues how they look down on me. Now, I think that when we meet, I'm in a pretty good position. So the challenge for me today is three things. One is to tell you that insurance is not boring, it's exciting, and we're going through a big transformation. Two, what we're doing to adapt to this digital area is we're trying to do our job better than what we were doing before. And three, it's all about people, it's all about attracting people. So let me tell you what insurance is, and please don't look at your email, just listen and learn how exciting this business is about. What it is about, the world is changing, the world is uncertain, and you have all kinds of events in the world that can impact the way you behave or the way you are. You have earthquakes, you have typhoons, you have deaths, you have accidents, you have crime, you have revolution. What insurance is about is helping people when they go through this kind of pain. Now, there are two other things that we do also. The second one we do is we're helping people, an entrepreneur, to start their business. This is very fashion these days to start a business from scratch. But guess what? Entrepreneurs need insurance on their side to build, grow, and face challenges that they have in their own business. And if you go back a long time, in London, in fact, people in a coffee shop started insurance to help the entrepreneur or the cargo to bring the spices from East. So that's what our business is about. It's also helping businesses and helping your business. The third one is this business is about you. And who are you? You are people who are worried for your family. You want to try to protect them for the future. You want to make sure that you're protecting your health, you're protecting your assets, you're protecting your data, you're protecting your home, and of course also your car. This is what our business is about. And I hope that listening to typhoons, earthquakes, revolutions, family, assets, you believe that this business has a real sense of purpose. And I hope you're going to stay with me for the rest of the presentation when I'm going to tell you how we're transforming it. So our business is about identifying the risk, understanding the risk, collecting data, and pricing it. And along the way, I think we have lost a little bit of our passion and the way we want to explain our business. So we were seen as not really adventurous. We were seen as very predictable, trying to reassure people when they have challenges or when they face risk. I think the whole industry is like that. So now what we want to do is we want to do our business in a different way because the world is changing. I heard before, We spoke about digital. We spoke about big data. What we can say is digital is sweeping through our industry, and we have an opportunity to look at data in a different way. Before, what did we do? We were asking endless questions to customers. We were already collecting data. We were trying, as insurance, to navigate the future by looking forward. Now, what we need is we need to have access to data which are real-time and which will tell us more about our customers, the way they are, and the way they behave. This is a very exciting challenge ahead of us, and it's a great opportunity. And sometimes when I look at the business that I joined 9 years ago and the business today, I think this has been a total shift. Why is that? It's because before we were looking at customer, we were trying to understand the risk, and we were, in fact, looking the same way that the taxman is looking at the people. We have a lot of data on them, but we don't have this intimacy. Now, when we depict the way we serve customers and the way how we look at customers, it feels like we have been going from the cave drawing to the hologram. This is what insurance is about, and I hope you're still with me because I want to speak a little bit about AXA. I don't want to speak about AXA like I will be doing to financial investors. I just want to give you a little bit of flavor of what AXA is about. One is we are the first global brand in insurance for the 7th consecutive year, and for the first time we are in the top 50. Which is for a business which is not as attractive and trendy than others, we feel really proud of that. And why are we number 1 in insurance and why are we in the top 50? Because the teams are engaged and motivated to achieve. I can tell you, I've never seen such proud people when we got this award, and I think that we owe them this, a big recognition and a big thanks. So we have 103 million clients. We are in 59 countries. And we are close to 96 billion revenues. But watch the number of people and employees, because this is where the complexity comes when you start talking about transformation. We have 161,000 employees in 59 countries. So bear with me for a minute, because I'm going to tell you how we're transforming, and sometimes it's not an easy journey. But what we want to do also is we want to be close to the customers, and we want to do the right thing for them. So last year, for instance, we have been able to help 4 million of cars which were broken, and we helped the customers to either buy a new car or get his car repaired. And the second one, we have paid to our customers 11 billion of claims in the health business. So that is what our business is about, and I hope you're starting to understand why I have this passion about, one, this industry, but even more about AXA. So what are we trying to do? These are the customers, and I'm sure that they are a little bit like you, looking at their mobile and doing everything on their mobile. And I think that what we have to do when you are in what sometimes people call it a dinosaur, when you are in a well-established company, you need to understand what are the customer expectations. Of course, the competition is strong, and we have other industries around. But my strong belief is that we have to benchmark ourselves with retailers. Because customers have changed the experience that they're receiving from many companies. You buy your music on Spotify. You download your best films or series on Netflix. You're driving and you're calling Uber. You're booking your travel online. So why would you not want the same kind of service that the one that you have with others? Amazon, Apple is our benchmark, and this is what we're trying to achieve. We're not there yet, because if not, I will be too arrogant. So what we want to do is we want to understand what does the customer want. And what we know and what we say on day in and day out is the customer is shaping the business. How does he want to interact with us? He wants to interact online. He wants to look online. He wants to sometimes buy, as you do, more of you, a car insurance online. But also, what he wants to do is when he has a big claim, or when he wants to talk about retirement, or to talk about protecting his family, or to speak about his or her health, he wants a face-to-face. So our strategy is very clear. We don't want to be only a digital company, but we want to be able to offer the choice to the customers, and we know that he or she will decide at which pace we need to transform. Sometimes people are asking me that question, so how are we doing? Are you happy with the pace? I'm never happy with the pace. Not because I am a total, because I want to go quicker. I'm just worried that the customer will move quicker than us. So this is important to define the customer journey, the customer experience. Of course, what we do and what we have is so far a very successful company. So you can say we had record earnings last year. We have a very good first semester. We are a leading company, and life is easy. That will be a big mistake. And I think that leadership is about making choices and about choosing things that you want your team to do because you know that you can take them to the next level. So what do? Is we are strongly believers that the change starts at the top. We need to change the culture. It has to start at the top. We need to walk the talk because people are looking up and looking at us. Of course, we need to practice. And I can tell you that I'm going to give you an anecdote. We started a reverse mentoring program. I'm sure many of you have had it in your companies. But what we did is we started with the XCOM. And the fact that we put that team together, listening to people who are more junior than us, demonstrated that we want to be a learning company. And I'm a strong believer that if you want to survive in a world where things are accelerating, the image of the leader who knows everything is over. You have to constantly challenge yourself, ask questions, learn from people who are much younger than you, and assemble a very diverse team. We all have that challenge, but I'm really convinced that now, when I see the CEO listening to somebody who is going to tell him about Tinder, I'm not sure he's going to use it, but at least it demonstrates that people are really ready to change and to listen. And I went through this program, and I have a young mentor, and we did, of course, we cover the digital tools, and I'm sure I'm not going to use Pocket every day, but that's not really what it is about. What it is about, it was for me a way also to understand what was our expectations and how also we can improve the way we manage AXA and we deal with this young generation. The second point, that is Eva. So the second point that I wanted also to tell you about is the fact that reverse mentoring is not the only thing that we do. What we do also is when you have 161,000 people, you need to embark them. And this is the biggest challenge that we have. Why do we have that? Because we don't want to leave people at the station. And the fact that I am an old lady made me remember what was the internet bubble when I was in New York, when I was at JP Morgan in the year 2000. We had two ghettos. The cool guy on one side, who were looking down to us because we were the old economy, and the old economy being frightened because they will be disrupted by the new economy. Guess what? Everybody lost. So when we started this journey 2 or 3 years ago, I got many advice, as usual. And I got, you need to build a separate subsidiary. We need to build a separate total team elsewhere because, you know, it's too much bureaucracy and we're not agile enough. And I was convinced, and I'm still convinced that this is not what we should do. What we should do is try to embark 161,000 people. And I know that it's not going to be easy. So we have developed MOOCs, we have developed Digital Academy, we have 80% of our people who are going through this kind of training, and we make sure that sometimes we tailor-made. We spoke also about innovation. So how do you build innovation? You know, you have the Google who are doing 1 day per week, you have the others in Silicon Valley, it's so cool, they can innovate, they have much more flexibility, so that is the competition that we have. So what we have done is we have launched an innovation program at AXA, and we had last year 22,000 people participating. Three winners, and the winners get 30,000, 40,000 to build a prototype, but more than anything else, they present their product and their innovation to the whole executive committee. And I can tell you that I'm very happy when each year at the beginning, my colleagues said, do we really need to go to that? Yes, you need to go to that. And at the end of the day, their eyes are open and they're telling me it's better every year. So that's what we need, is we need also in a company which have 161,000 people, make sure that we don't let people in at the station, but also that we are able to innovate even if we are big and global. Now, this is not just about us. And I think that the risk that you have in this kind of transformation is to look inward. You look at your financial results, you look at your program, you do starting, you do reverse mentoring, you do innovation, you do a big digital academy to make sure that you train the people. But this is not enough, because remember, this is about people, and this is about learning agility. So what did we do? We said that we wanted to look outside and make sure that we can learn from outside. So we did a couple of things. We started a lab in San Francisco. This was the first insurance lab in San Francisco. And why in San Francisco? Because we believe that some of the innovation is coming. And we also wanted to do partnership with the big names. LinkedIn, Facebook, Google with the Niantic Labs. So we really believe that by being there, you're learning more. The second thing is it's very fashion these days, the startup world. But at the same time, we know that we can learn from them. So what we did is we put a fund, which is called Strategic Venture, who is investing in fintech. And the reason why we're doing that is we want to make sure that if there is good ideas outside, we can benefit from that. Maybe we will work with this startup, maybe not. It would just be a private equity investment. But we believe that always listening to outside is important. The third thing that we did also is we did a big Kaggle competition. Kaggle is a big data scientist community, so we put a project and we asked people to contribute, and the winner was somebody who lives in Israel, who came to the executive committee 2 weeks ago to present. And of course, my boss told me, oh, it's very good, you have to do more, and you have to do more. So we'll do more. We did one, we'll do more, because we believe that this is a way also to demonstrate how AXA is innovative, but also to attract candidates, and to demonstrate that insurance is not as boring as it looked. Last but not least, we always speak about the next guy in the garage who is going to invent a new business model. I'm not sure that I will see that before I retire, but what I know is that it's also important to get disruptors in-house. So what we did is we are going to put a separate team. The team is called Kamet, and their goal is to disrupt and invent new insurance model. So I hope that I gave you a little bit of what we have ahead of us, but I strongly believe that bringing the people, hiring the people, retaining them, but also looking at what we can do for the ones who are already with us and on which we can build is very important. And last but not least, looking outside, because by learning, always learning, it does two things. One is you're never arrogant. Two, you stay very humble, and it keeps you on your toes to try to be ready for the next wave. Hiring. Big question, and I'm sure, at the beginning of when I started to prepare that speech, I said, I'm going to tell that I want to recruit people in this room or on the live stream. Maybe you will, maybe we will, maybe we will not. But what I can tell you is certainly hiring is the most complex thing that we have to do these days. We are competing with resources. And I've been spending a lot of my time interviewing, recruiting, convincing, following. I think this is part of the job of what should be a leader today, because also you're learning at the same time. Now, when you hire people from outside, and we have hired most of the people not from the insurance industry, in digital, in IT, and in big data. At the same time, learning what I've learned in 2000, we didn't want to have the very arrogant guy coming and say, I know everything about digital and I don't care about insurance. So the way we do it is when we interview people, we try to see if they have the right, what we call soft skills. Are they be ready to work as a team? Are they be ready to collaborate? Are they be ready to be humble and learn about insurance? At the same time, when you integrate these people in other teams, you have also to explain to people who have lived all their life in insurance and who were born in insurance, that they have a role to teach them what is product and what is the risk in insurance. So what we wanted to do, I think it's a year ago, we did a big partnership with LinkedIn. We are a global company, and we wanted to make sure that we're learning from the best in terms of recruiting talents. So what we have now is we have people working as a team between marketing, between HR, and the reason why we're doing it is because we want to target employees. We want to make sure that we're looking after the best and that we're going quickly. This is a race. There is a war for talent. So the one who is able to really explain and articulate the value proposition is the winner. And it's complex. We're not perfect. And I want to thank LinkedIn for that because they're going to help you to train our recruiters. The way you sell email, the way you interview, the way you respond quickly, it's also a transformation in HR. And I want to thank the HR team in this room who helped me so much to achieve my goal and to achieve my dream. At the same time, it's important that we are really focusing on these people and that we retain them. So you learn and you read all kinds of things. You know they're not going to stay more than 3 years. They don't want to work for a big company. Maybe yes, maybe not. It's our challenge on a daily basis to convince people. 2, they don't want to stay more than 3 years. We have 59 countries. We have a full range of business, from P&C to life, from marketing to technology and distribution. Let's be smart. Let's move the best people around to make sure that they are not bored. And I think that the challenge of this transformation is definitely that. You join an insurance company, and you believe it's going to be easy and cool, and you're becoming, in fact, part of a pioneer who wants to transform and lead for the future. So where are you, and who are we, and what are we going to do? And maybe I want to make sure that I give you a little bit of where I think we are and where we want to be. We know that this is all about people. So you can build a more complex product. You can believe that you know everything. If your customers do not buy, or if the customers do not have a good customer experience, they will not stay. 2, it's all about people. The people that you recruit, the people that you train, and also the leadership skills that you have in the company. Leadership, I told you before, it's about making choices. It's about knowing to say no. It's also about taking risk and having the courage to say that sometimes we're making mistakes. It looks like an easy journey, but I can tell you that the day is not long enough, and 24 hours doesn't make it. There is always something going wrong, and you need to have the courage to stop things when they're not working well. Last but not least, there is ambiguity. Like in every company, we want to protect the short-term earnings. We want to transform the company. Are we going quickly enough? What should we do? And I think that what is important is always to explain why we are transforming. We are transforming because the world is changing, because there is an acceleration, and that the customer is shaping the business. We know that we have a long journey ahead of us, and we know that we have been successful so far in leading this transformation, but execution is very important. And when my colleagues on the management committee asked me to lead that transformation, at the beginning, I was a little bit worried because I have to be intrusive, and I have to come back to them and say this works and it doesn't work. But the way we are at the management committee, leading the transformation, having very open discussion and challenging ourselves is, I think, the right way. In terms of culture, what do? We bring people from diverse backgrounds. We're spending an enormous time on recruitment, on retention, and on training. We have 161,000 people and 59 countries. So I'm telling you, we're growing, we're changing, we are transforming. So what do I want to do? I want to attract the best, as everybody else. I want to make sure that the people will be happy to join us, but they will also stay for the ride. And why do I want to attract people, and why do I think I have a good business proposition? We're successful, we are a leader, we have a global footprint, but it's more than that. In fact, what we want to do is we want people who have the adventures in themselves, who are really fired up to help us to transform, and who also want to join a pioneer. We want to be a pioneer in the way we do our business, in the way we transform, but also in the way that the society is defining the risk, and we want to make sure that we have people with us to achieve that. I hope I have been able in these few minutes to share with you my passion and my energy about this industry. I hope you learned a little bit more. I hope that you share with me the passion and energy that we need to have on a daily basis to lead teams and to make them successful. And I know that also we can stay in touch, and I hope that some of you have changed their mind about what insurance is about. Thank you very much.